Hi everybody, I'm Carol Decker from TPau and you're watching me on Cornwall channel.
Hello, I'm Lewis Nichols and you're watching the Cornwall channel with the amazing Carol Decker backstage at the Plymouth Pavilions after an incredible gig.
Thank you.
You must have enjoyed that tonight.
I did. It was wonderful, fantastic crowd. Unfortunately, as you can probably see, I've broken my arm.
I didn't know about this.
No. I broke my arm 7 weeks ago. I have no heroic tale to tell. I didn't fend off a terrorist attack or outrun an avalanche on the slopes. I tripped over a chair in my hotel room. There might have been vodka involved. I did another great show at the Café de Paris in London. Had a wonderful night and just got up, went to the toilet 2 o'clock in the morning, missed my footing, smashed my arm. Not fun. So I was nervous about tonight because I haven't sung like this, and it really does impact on your breathing and your movement and everything. But
so were you kind of anxious before you went out on stage? Was that kind of in your mind, oh my god, am I going to be like I normally am?
Yeah, because singing, the kind of songs I sing, which is quite athletic, so you need your posture, you need your diaphragm, you need everything going on, and this really, the brace stops it, you know. So I was nervous, but it was a short, sweet set. It was only half an hour. And
that can be your new gimmick. Like Keith Lemon has his kind of his hand in a sling. That can be your new.
Yeah, my little boy thinks I look like a transformer. So really cool. Yeah.
When you went on there tonight, I mean, as soon as you stepped on the stage and you heard that crowd reaction, does that kind of take all your nerves away and you just get in that zone? Because you had an incredible reaction tonight.
I did, yeah. They're pleased to see all, me, Nick and Go West. They're pleased to see all of us. It's not kind of like, oh, I'm on first, who gives monkeys, you know. And of course, and then I realised, they're with me, and I folded what had happened into my banter.
Yeah,
and
it's got good banter.
I was like, well, I have head of banter. My husband is head of banter. He's much funnier than I am. I steal his gags when I go on stage.
We saw that on Mr. and Mrs. Yeah. he had a really good banter.
He is, so just get everybody involved in the joke, in the thing, and they were really lovely. Yeah,
and it worked as well. And you performed 2 songs that people might not have heard of before. And you had a really good reaction because you kind of said before, like, people piss off to the toilets if it was Keith Richards, but you went there and you smashed it.
Well, these shows are part of the Icons of the 80's tour, and I've done nearly 40 shows now with Go West and Nick on this kind of package. And I appreciate that, we're the soundtrack to people's youth of a certain age, and that's what they're expecting to hear. But of course, I've got new music. I didn't want to bore them to death too much. Wanted to share it, but they loved it, and they genuinely did. You know when you get a pity clap. Yeah. And it wasn't a pity clap.
You had a
they loved it. Let's hope we can monetize that.
And obviously, back in the 80s, I wasn't born. I was born in 1993. I wasn't even around.
So what?
But China in your hand, I've always had this vision of I'm going to be with me and you, smoke machine, your hair's blowing everywhere.
All right.
I'm blowing. Yeah. And then we sing it together. Yeah. Doing that and everything.
You're doing all the harmonies.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't sing. And I don't think you can train someone to sing.
No, that is a pity.
You've got to have a natural voice like Carol Decker. But one day my dream is me and you in a smoke machine, like the X Factor. Yeah. And we'll sing it.
Yeah. I actually met a lady who did me on Stars in Their Eyes years ago, which was really funny, and she wanted to sing with me as well, but I managed to avoid it.
I remember, and I'll never forget, and you were really good about it, it was the X Factor, and someone sang China in Your Hand.
Oh, Amelia Lily, she was younger.
And then Gary Barlow came in, and he was like, that was great to hear that sang in tune. What a rude comment when it went to #1 in the charts as well. And you actually, if I'm right, you rang the X Factor to say, look, I want to talk to...
No, they called me.
Oh, and he refused to do it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a long time ago now. Time's marched on. I don't think it's hurt his career at all. He's now Sir Gary of Barlow, isn't he? But no, it was upsetting because we don't watch the X Factor in our house. It's not something we watch. And my friend who works in television called me and gave me the heads up. They're going to do one of your songs, so it was really exciting. And it's quite a few years ago, so my kids were quite little, and I said, "Mummy's song's on the telly, and I don't get on the telly that much anymore." So we were really excited. And so, you know, we've got the beer and the Pringles and the wine, and we're all ready to go. And then he said that, and it was really upsetting and really unnecessary. And I mean, I've never held a tuning fork up to the track. Maybe it's a little pitchy, but it's got emotion. Otherwise, it wouldn't have stayed at number 1 for 5 weeks.
I was going to do a quiz, and that was one of the questions. But obviously, you're going to know the answer to your own.
So anyway, they called me. No, he wouldn't come to the phone, and then I got a lame apology tweet the next day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you accept it?
I just ignored it.
In true form.
Well, I wanted to retweet his awful appearance on Peppermill when he was a young Song for Christmas. Okay, God, you are. A long, long time ago, Peppermill was the daytime television station. It was Peppermill in Birmingham, and they did a Song for Christmas, and he does this awful piano song, The Terrible Christmas Jumper, before it was kitsch to wear Christmas jumpers. And I wanted to retweet that just to show that he was a bit of a knob, but
you didn't.
But well, Richard, my husband, wouldn't let me because it was all kicking off. We had the paparazzi calling, we had the sun turning up on our drive. We got inundated by
just
press.
Because of that comment.
Yeah, and so I wanted to come out fighting, but Richard said, "Don't
you calm the situation down."
Can't. Yeah.
Now, for you were just talking before this interview, you said you've got connections with Cornwall back in St Austell and the Coliseum.
Yeah.
So you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Okay, well, back in the 80s, we did massive tours. We went all over the world, and you had to do a week of pre-production, not just for the songs and the choreography and how the show looked, and you'd construct your own stage as well. You know, everything gets broken down and taken on to the next city, so all that has to work. And the lights and the sound and everything. So we used to move into the Coliseum for a week.
Okay.
And we would stay in Foy. Is it the Foy Hotel?
Foy, yeah.
Yeah, the hotel up on that overlooks the bay. Yeah, so we decamped Cornwall for the week, and we would do a week in the Coliseum, and then the first show of the tour would be St Austell Coliseum. So you kind of knock the cobwebs off on that first show, and if anybody can be bothered, if you go on Vivo or YouTube and look for TPau Road to Our Dream video, that's shot in Tintagel, and you'll see the ticker tape saying TPau sold out across the front of the now gone St Austell Coliseum.
Cornish history.
So I love that video because it's Cornish history. It's fantastic.
And you perform at the Falmouth Pavilions as well.
Yes.
That's a really nice venue as well, quite small and intimate.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy it when you perform there?
Any audience is fantastic. Grateful for any audience. It's lovely being on tour with the boys. You know, collectively we put in quite a large crowd, and I do like a little bit of shock and awe for the old ego. But I love the little places as well. They're lovely. Yeah.
Did you write China in Your Hand?
I co-wrote
it.
All my songs with Ronnie Rogers, who was my partner at the time, and also my co-writer and co-founder of TPau. So everything is all to do with Ronnie as well. He's a great writer. Yeah.
So where did the inspiration for that song come from? Is there kind of a story behind it?
It was loosely based around the story of Mary Shelley writing the Book of Frankenstein. So I'd seen a documentary about Mary Shelley and Lord Percy Shelley, her husband, Lord Byron, and that whole gang. And then when she wrote the book, she was only 19, and they were all really jealous of her. So it was kind of a piece of pulp fiction, and so it caused a lot of controversy within their set. And then, of course, the book is quite tragic. And I don't think any movie has ever captured the tragedy of Frankenstein, where man is God and he creates his own son and it all goes hideously wrong. And so it's a story within a story within a story within a story, which is kind of be careful what you wish for.
And it went to number 1 for 5 weeks. And did you ever expect that when you were writing the song?
No, because the song wasn't born when we got our record deal. No, it wasn't born at all. We got our record deal based on Heart and Soul, Valentine, Sex Talk, Monkey House, all those tracks. And we were in the studio outside Chicago with Roy Thomas Baker, and there was one track we were working on, I can't remember what it was, and it just wasn't coming together, so we were a track short. And he said, "Have you got anything else? Because we're polishing a turd here." So that's a professional music business terminology. So we were a track short and running out of time, because you're always on a deadline, recording, mixing, release date, you know. And Ronnie and I started working on this song, the rough piano vocal, and I literally had a cassette in my pocket, and I went, "Well, there's this," and it was the very bare bones of the song. And Roy Thomas Baker he said, that's an amazing song. And Roy, of course, you know, Bohemian Rhapsody, he did that. So he turned it into the drama that it is.
And the passion and the build-up.
Yeah, but recently, plug, I put my autobiography out last year called Heart and Soul. Yeah. And going through all the boxes and boxes of memorabilia, because I'd never archive anything properly, I found the original lyrics for China.
Oh, wow.
That I was in the studio crossing it out, going, that shit, that's okay, that's a bit, that could change that. So we photographed it, and it's in the book. The actual
so people can see the original lyrics.
30-year-old Carol Decker scribbles, where I kind of working through the writing process. No, I found it amazing as well, because I'd forgotten.
So what's next for you now? Because I know obviously you're still working on new music all the time. So is there an album that's going to be up and coming?
I can't give you a date. Yes, I need to get, once this is fixed,
that's back,
I'll get it out of my backside and start doing some writing. But right now, it's been wonderful tonight. It was a short set, and I was able to do it. And tomorrow night we do Southampton, but I'm having to just down tools till this is fixed, because I just need to stop. I've been doing lots of telly and stuff, and I've been told to stop. So as soon as I'm recovered from this, then yes, we need to get in the studio with young James, who was on stage with me tonight.
He was brilliant, by the way, as well.
He is
incredible backing
James Ashby. And I have a band of my own who are incredible, and lots of them were involved in Pleasure and Pain, the album I put out in 2015. So yeah, we'll do some new music.
So Carol, you just mentioned this previously about your book.
Yes.
So
it's all about me.
Amongst with your record label, and is that an autobiography then? Was it written for you?
Well, it's all about me, so yeah.
No, was it written by someone?
No, it was written by me. I dictated it to a journalist, but I then wrote it all, because I suppose what happens is you dictate all your stuff to a nominated journalist or whoever wants to work on it with you. Then they transcribe your ramblings and send it back to you. And either he or me was drunk. It was just didn't make any sense whatsoever. So I ended up just locking myself in the office, didn't I, Rich, for like 8 hours a day, because I had a deadline now.
Yeah.
And I always do this to myself. Leave it till the last minute and then do this mad panic. So I wrote it all myself, but Andy Richards, who is a fantastic music journalist, edited it all for me and put it in the right order and stuff. But I am going to take credit for all the writing, because I did do it, however good or bad. And basically the story, when they asked me to do it, I was like, well, I'm not Madonna and I wasn't in the Rolling Stones, who cares? But the story that's interesting is coming out of although I'm a Scouser by birth, coming out of a little town like Wellington in Shropshire where I grew up, to topping the charts all over the world. Wow. So it's more the kind of a funny thing happened on the way to the gig, the sort of banana skins you slip on the way. And of course the ups and downs of being in the band. Every band will tell you the same story, that you start out as the 4, 5, 6 musketeers and your lifelong friends. It's you and me, it's you and me, it's you and me. And it's, you've got more money than me. Why have you got more money than me? You know.
I've got a dead arm at this point. By the way.
And you start falling out, and these great friendships shatter. And then you find out that guy, he was supposed to be looking after you, had his fingers in the till. And all bands will tell you the same story. However massive the artist or lowly the band, everybody seems to go through the same process, and I certainly went through it as well. And then being, you know, really hot to trot, and then being so out in the cold, not getting your phone calls returned. So it just covers all of that, and how a girl from a little town in Shropshire ended up being in a famous rock band. You know, catch up with me anywhere. We've got Facebook, which is TPau/Carol Decker, or we've got TPau.co.uk, natfish.co.uk, which is my label.
That with a G.
Yeah, Gnatfish. Or you can go on Amazon and you can get the book.
Can you get signed books if you pay more? Because I know some people.
I've signed a load of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're actually on, if you go to Away with Media on Twitter, then I've signed a whole box of albums. And as I now have a broken arm, they are like hen's teeth. I'm going to double the price, actually. Just come up with a really good idea. Get your signed book, because I may never get this back. So, you know,
thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to buy a book as well, and I'll send it to you to get my personal name. Thank you, Carol Decker, everybody.
Bye.